to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right?
Very.
So much success that you have more than one place to be.
5-3, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Big Ten champions.
National champions, yes. The Ducks take home an indoor national title.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
An Athletic Director Tuesday with Rob Mullens kicking things off today. We've got Big Ten titles to talk about. We've got postseason on the horizon. Baseball tonight against St. Mary's. 6 o'clock first pitch. Make it out to PK Park. Supposed to be truly 75 and sunny at first pitch.
Always
75 and sunny.
Well, certainly lately.
It has been lately. It's been fun. The Ducks are back from a successful trip to East Lansing, garnering some weekly Big Ten awards. Women's golf is in action in the regionals. We'll update you on that. And then talking about Big Ten championships, Melyssa Lombardi, Oregon softball head coach, we've got her coming up before the Big Ten tournament. I could cover nowhere close to everything that's going on in my usual open for you today, Rob, and that's a good thing around these parts.
It's a great thing, especially when you're talking about the high level of the things that are happening.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be giving live updates.
I know.
From the course in Phoenix.
Yeah, they've. By the way, women's golf is running away with it so far. They're off to a great start.
Round two.
Yeah, Kiara Romero birdied 6 of the first 7 holes. That's just what the Big Ten golfer of the year does out on the course. And, actually coming up later this week, Rob, maybe I'll start with you here. Casey Martin is going to chat with us because for the 18th consecutive season, they made a regional. The only time, because Casey Martin is a 19th year head coach, the only time that the Ducks have not been to a regional, it's because there wasn't one during the 2020
Right. No,
year.
he's had an incredibly consistent run.
It's amazing.
And championship matches, national championships. Casey's done a phenomenal job.
I joked with him that now his consecutive postseason streak is old enough to vote. 18 straight. That puts it in perspective, though, and I think, Rob, you always talk about broad-based excellence, and here we are talking about that again in the spring.
No, we are, and I'm sure we'll go through it all. But when you look at both individual performance, the leadership from the coaches, and being able to excel in a new league, it is going to be an intense but fun few more weeks.
There's that famous now clip of you that we use in our broadcast open that's like, it's a good problem to have when you have so many different things to choose from. So what's your schedule look like for that?
Yeah, exactly. In fact, Lauren and I were talking about it, and we have some league meetings kind of squeezed in there, but it's gonna be have bag will travel, and you're gonna have to pack for all sorts of different climates because it's just going to be point to point. It's not going to all be planned out. I'm going to have enough clothes to deal with whatever the weather is, and I'll start at a point, and then we'll book the next leg of it as it appears.
It's usually a good thing when you've got to do some laundry on the road in athletics.
No doubt. And if you could stay an extra night.
That's right. Always a good thing. Okay, we're going to go through a lot. Let's start with softball, though, because a Big Ten title, again, that's the 6th for Oregon athletics. Ohio State's the only one that's even in the conversation as having that many. 6 is a lot in the inaugural season.
It really is. And, started back in the fall with cross country and football. And there were so many others that we were in the hunt for. Yeah. So, 6 is fun, and still a few more out there to be had. So, softball was the clincher on Saturday was a lot of fun.
Man,
a lot
the
of fun.
environment at the Jane, huh, Rob?
It was fantastic. It just kind of carried over from the PK Park environment the week before, the Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Obviously, senior day is an emotional day, but it was a fun day at PK Park.
Well, PK, so to put that in perspective, against Oregon State, look, it's spring game weekend, it's rivalry. Certainly there's a lot of things that contribute to this, but also 2 really good teams, one of them that won all 4, that would be Oregon, against Oregon State. A record attendance weekend. For an entire 3-game set, that was a record attendance for a regular season matchup.
Yeah, and then when you stack that on top of some of the other great crowds that we had, we're trending to a really great cumulative attendance and average attendance year. And with a strong performance at PK tonight, tomorrow, and over the weekend, there are some records that are in sight.
That's right. There are. So to put that in context for everybody, the cumulative attendance record sure looks like it's going to be broken, if not this weekend, but perhaps I should say it could be added to, maybe with some regionals. We'll talk about that in a bit. But, yeah, this weekend it looks like it's certainly going to fall. That environment, though, Rob, on both diamonds, I wanted to come back to that. I mean, you talk about these facilities. Like PK Park is not that old, right? No. The modern era of Oregon baseball is not that old. Jane Sanders Stadium is not that old. But to now see in your tenure those environments here on the diamond, that's got to be special. I certainly have been kind of moved by it this year.
No, it really is. And when you have standing room only crowds, we talk about it all the time. It obviously influences, and it's a huge recruiting tool. Our student athletes absolutely love, and our facilities are designed for that fan experience, for that interaction. And when you see what was happening at the Jane over the weekend, from our dugout to the fans, out to the Bob, it is very special. And then, when you hear the seniors talk about it, their experiences, they often reference the fans and the interaction and the engagement. And it makes a difference. There's no doubt. I mean, we need a big crowd at PK this week.
Yeah.
A huge Big Ten series, both for standings, for our RPI, for our potential for what could be in postseason. John Sargent's cooking up some fun for outside of the East Autzen. So, we're going to create a postseason-like atmosphere in and around PK, and we'd love to keep the sellout streak going.
Yeah, the final 5 regular season games tonight against St. Mary's. 2 Pepperdine grads as head coaches scoring off tonight. Yeah,
did not know that.
About 10 years separated, but 2 Pepperdine coaches scoring off tonight.
There you go.
So we'll see. Look, a broadcaster's nothing without some good nuggets. Right.
There you go. Fun facts.
That's how we fill in the broadcast. I often think that a baseball broadcast in particular, Rob, it can turn into a little bit of your Trivia Tuesday if you want it to. If you want it to. It depends on the direction the game goes sometimes. But the beauty is, and I mean this sincerely, for all of these programs, you're having so many of those new notes and those new records that are constantly being set, and that speaks to what we've been talking about.
No doubt. And now that we have some, we're in the Big Ten, and we have some people visiting PK Park or Jane Sanders Stadium for the first time, the response that we're getting from the visitors is really powerful, and it's flattering to hear. Kudos to our staff for the atmosphere that's created. Kudos to our fans. Because people are surprised when they come out here to experience what it's like for our teams.
Yeah. So now for softball, the Ducks are headed to the Big Ten tournament. We'll break all that down and in line to host a regional. I've been saying it, Rob, and I know you know more about this than I do, being on some of these committees. Like all the metrics, all the eye test, everything. I got to think that Oregon softball's in line to be a top 8 seed.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly look at it with green and yellow glasses for sure. But
Same.
When you look at, you won a conference championship, the way that Missy built the schedule, yes, people can point to the RPI. I think it was 17 today. But when you look in front of us, won a series against UCLA, won a series against Florida State, beat Tennessee, we have built quite an impressive resume. And so I will be extremely disappointed, if we don't have that opportunity. The best thing we can do is continue to take care of business.
That's right.
And hopefully we can continue that at the Big Ten tournament.
I got to think, too, I know this is, again, a green and yellow lenses kind of conversation point. The atmosphere at the Jane is what you want in the postseason.
100%.
Right? I mean,
and our team knows how to execute these things. Right. You earn it. Our team has earned it. And again, for some reason it gets ratcheted up a notch when you get to these postseason events, whether we're hosting women's basketball or we've hosted volleyball, we've hosted at the Jane, we've hosted at PK Park. It just goes up another level. So, yeah, we'd love that opportunity.
And to that point, too, on baseball, like, so down the stretch, Ducks are in the hunt for a Big Ten regular season title. The metrics are showing that Oregon's right there to potentially host a regional. And I feel like there's been more conversation in the Diamond Sports about how the RPI is an imperfect measure
Yes, it is.
Of such things. So it is, right? Like, so there's more to it than this.
There is more to it. And, again, we have a great opportunity coming down the stretch because, we're playing teams. We're going to play a team that's close to us in the standings this weekend, a great opportunity to enhance our RPI, our record, our standing in the league. And then we close with a team who's been leading the league all year and on the road, which, is a multiplier in RPI. So
and Iowa
it's
just
all
lost
in front
a
of us.
series to Washington, by the way.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we were all rooting for the Huskies a bit this past weekend for baseball because it does make things a little tighter.
Yes.
In those conference standings. So ultimately, you're just rooting for the Ducks.
Yes,
That's
100%.
what I told myself.
And we're playing our best at the right time.
That's right. But now I should tell you a little preview of the Toyota Coaches Corner coming up tonight. Mark Wasikowski will tell you that the Ducks have not yet peaked, and the Ducks are still, there's still some realized potential in front of them here down the stretch. And actually, just case in point, Toby Twist gets the ball tonight.
Nice.
Toby Twist making his return to the mound, and down the stretch, boy, difference maker that he could be. A lefty. I'm telling you, like, that's going to be fun tonight against St. Mary's, so best of luck to Toby Twist. I wanted to ask you, too, Rob, about Kedri Lushar on the softball diamond because, last year she was hitting below 200. Now here this year, her senior campaign, she's up for National Player of the Year.
Yeah, and just won Player of the Week. I think we spend a lot of time talking about transfer portal and roster turnover, and here you have a young woman who stuck with the development, committed to it, and it's just wonderful to see her. What is she? One of 25 players nominated for Player of the Year.
Yeah.
You just love to see somebody who puts in the effort, the work, and has the perseverance to stick it out at a time when it's it's easier to kind of turn the page and try it somewhere else. Have that kind of season.
Well, and similarly, so then you talk about like. The story writes itself when it's the Oregonian, the hometown kid who comes and performs in front of his friends and family. Well, Ryan Cooney's done that. He just won Big Ten Player of the Week on the baseball diamond, co-Big Ten Player of the Week on the baseball diamond, is currently Oregon's leading hitter among qualified players. Give Drew Smith a few more weeks to hit that qualifying number of 2.5 at-bats per game, and we'll see who's – that just speaks to how good Drew has been since getting healthy, but – that's a cool thing for Ryan Cooney.
No, it's great. I think you probably heard Waz say it multiple times. He's just a rock, right? Yeah. Ryan is consistent. He plays a really good second base. He's a great teammate. He's a leader, and he just has a great approach, and it's great to see it recognized.
Also, one thing that's going to be coming throughout this weekend, there will be a couple games before the big celebration of this on Friday against Washington, but Bob Kilkenny Field at PK
cool.
Park. If you missed the story on GoDucks.com, we'll talk about it throughout the broadcast tonight. A chance to honor someone that's been pretty influential in this entire community, to put it mildly.
No, in the entire state, no doubt. Obviously the Kilkenny family has meant a lot to Oregon athletics. A tremendous amount to baseball, and it'll be another special experience at PK Park.
Yeah, so you'll see some of that coming this weekend, and we'll break it down, but it's a pretty cool way to honor the Kilkennys. Okay, timeout. I've covered about a third of the things that I had for Rob. Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens is with us. Some updates on golf postseason. This is when it gets fun. Down the stretch in the month of May here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I like a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son? I left my heart.
Back inside the Country Financial Studio, it's Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack, Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens joining us. It's baseball, game day, talking about hosting postseason, regionals. Hayward Field's going to have some postseason events coming up, and women's golf. Right now, if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour, the Ducks are in first place as a team in the NCAA regional, midway through, actually toward the end now of round 2. The Ducks are 5 under as a team and currently sitting 3 strokes ahead of Oklahoma State. It looks like the Ducks will be well above the cut line, which is always a nice thing. And Kiara Romero, the Big Ten Golfer of the Year, is currently at 11 under as an individual. She is 9 under in round 2. And that's just what Kiara Romero does.
She's pretty steady.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, was right in the hunt at the Women's Amateur at Augusta. We Coach of the Year in women's golf, Player of the Year in women's golf, Big Ten Championship. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going for real. And man, what Derek Radley's done, Rob, I mean, to put it into words, here it is, consistent at the top.
At the very top. We've been in the national championship match 2 of the last 3 years, winning conference championships, winning tournaments. A lot like all of these spring sport postseasons, you got to kind of grind through a regional to get to the big opportunity at the NCAA championship, and that can be difficult. So I'm glad we're playing well in round 2.
Yeah, and to put this in context for everybody now, the projected cut line is 19 over. The Ducks are 4 under.
Great.
Right now. So you really like a stress-free regional in golf.
Yes, you do. I'm sure Derek would say there's no such thing. But glad to see we're on top of the leaderboard today.
Yeah, so we'll have some updates continuing over the next couple days for Oregon women's golf, hoping to advance those national championships. Touched on it briefly at the top of the show just with Casey Martin and the consistency, but the way that they played in the Big Ten championships. Grayson Leach, you talked about earlier with Kedri Lushar, like someone who's developed and been here a few years now, and that's pretty exciting for the Ducks. They start next Monday. The men's golf regionals get underway.
Yeah, they've got a tough assignment. They've got to go to the southeast and to Auburn. So, but like you said, Casey's done a phenomenal job, extremely consistent. Our team will be ready to go compete.
He will tell you, and I know this because I talked to him this morning, that the grass and the type of lie will be the unique challenge for the Ducks. But they were in Baton Rouge last year.
Yeah, no, and again, he'll have them ready. We know that.
Always does. Always does. All right, track and field. Some meets coming up at Hayward, and since we last spoke to you, had some outdoor home meets.
I know. Here we go. And Jerry set up a new format, a new old format.
That's right.
There was a great crowd out there as I was working around Hayward talking to fans, many who've been long-time loyal University of Oregon track fans really enjoyed kind of the team scoring format.
It was fun.
We're also used to championships where, you're just chasing individual points to accumulate. And this was, the people who finished 7th and 8th really mattered.
Yeah.
And so it was a fun way. Jerry got some great feedback from some of the other coaches. So hopefully it's something we can build some momentum on.
Yeah, it was cool to hear you even talking here on the show about, that was something that fans wanted to see.
Yep.
And, that's what it's about, right? It's about
Yes.
student-athlete experience and fans having a good time.
And you have student athletes who are contributing to a team result that may not qualify for a conference championship or for a regional or for a national championship. So here they get to be a part of something and contribute to the team format, which we really haven't had in the regular season for several years.
And you talk about competing for championships.
Yes.
Coming up at Hayward Field, Big Tens. Gotta like where the Oregon track and field program is at, I'd imagine.
No, they've done a great job. Outdoor track can be difficult because of the format. We're going to go compete in a conference championship. Then 2 weeks later, you have to go compete in a regional, which you then have to, meet. You have to finish at a certain place to advance to the national championship. So for those that are running middle distance and distance, you have to kind of manage that the right way, which our coaches do. So, and we're thrilled to have the Big Ten track championships at Hayward Field. I think we're going to have some coaches and student athletes who experience it for the first time that are going to say, wow.
Yeah. And, again, our seemingly monthly reminder that we feel like a lot of postseason track and field should be held at Hayward Field.
Why not all of it?
Why not all of it? We haven't had you on, Rob, since the spring game as well.
Yeah, what a great day. Obviously that's become quite the celebration for Oregon football, for our community with Food for Lane County. And we just had a beautiful day, an incredible crowd, just great energy. The crowd stayed.
Yeah.
We created a lot of fun in and around the stadium. I think, Sarge had, 14, 15 food carts.
Yeah.
A number of them sold out. I mean, the number of corn dogs that were sold blew me away. And then even after the game, people milling about out there. It was just it's a very festival-like atmosphere. It's a great way to celebrate. Thank the military, to be able to present the 48th General from Oregon with a jersey was a really cool moment. So fun day all the way around.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got to tell you, there was some poetry in the fact that here we are, it's a little cloudy in the morning, and then suddenly there's just this bright, shining sun out at Autzen Stadium. It always works out that way.
It worked out perfect, and then, you have Bryce Betcher running over in his shoulder pads
to
throw out the first pitch.
So great. And he threw out the first pitch, everyone, in his shoulder pads, and threw a strike. Maybe the zone a little wide on the outside, but threw a strike, right?
Yes, absolutely.
It was a strike. That was fun to see. And stuff like that. I think you mentioned, I love that description of just a festival-type atmosphere, because to me, something like that, even Bryce running over afterwards, that's what it is.
No, it was. And Bryce felt bad, so I happened to be standing on the field as he was coming over to get ready to throw out the first pitch, and he was hustling over, and there were, a lot of fans that wanted photos or autographs. Sure. And, he wants to do every single one of them, but, he was on the clock to not miss that first pitch.
Yeah, timing.
So he said, I'll be back. But, yeah, it was pretty neat.
And knowing Bryce, he came back for every single one.
I'm sure he did. I mean, because he literally ran up the tunnel, across the parking lot, and into PK onto the field to throw out the first pitch.
Really outstanding. Many plans, by the way, now on sale for Oregon football. And I imagine that ticket sales are going well?
Very well. I mean, I think we're under, we only have, I think it's under 300 season tickets left. And we only have mini plans for the first few games. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to be sold out in season tickets, and these mini plans will go fast as well.
So if you're thinking about it, if you need a Mother's Day present, now's a good time.
Pull the trigger.
Now's a good time. Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens joining us. A couple things actually newsworthy coming out today. Let's begin with 8 University of Oregon athletic programs receiving a perfect 1,000 single-year score in the NCAA's Academic Progress Report. So these come out around this time every year, Rob, and for me, it's an annual reminder of, hey, there's a lot that goes into this student-athlete experience.
Right, and, we're reading about an awful lot of things, transfer portal, NIL, but at the end of the day, the priority is still the student part of that student-athlete. And this is just an annual metric that lets us know how we're performing. And, kudos to the coaches, to the student-athletes, to the JAQUA team, and all those support services that are put around these student-athletes who have incredibly stressful schedules to make all this fit. And when you hear numbers like that, 8 teams got a perfect academic score as it relates to eligibility and retention, is impressive.
Women's basketball, men's cross country, women's golf, lacrosse, softball, men's tennis, women's tennis, the 8 that were perfect. And then 11 Oregon programs had a single-year APR of 980 or higher. This is from the 23 to 24 academic year. And I every year that we have this – actually, it was odd. I don't know if you realized this, but last year you were on the day that it came out. Also, I didn't mean for that to happen.
Let's schedule next year right now.
Yeah, exactly. So the first week of May, we'll have Rob on the show again. But, I think, too, about – I talked to Jenny Leander, and we talked about this a couple segments ago, Rob, when you were on. But just the JAQUA staff and what goes into it. That's a big part of it.
It is a big, big part of it. The transition to college and, using the time, the time management skills, having the tutors, the priority registration, the math and English specialists, and then also just being a friendly face.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of ups and downs every term for a student athlete, in season, out of season, with travel and stressors and performance. And, again, I think, one of the things, obviously, we have a great brand. We have a unique Nike relationship. We have outstanding facilities. But when you look at the people who've dedicated their careers and a big part of their life to supporting student athletes, that's what makes this place special. And the JAQUA staff is full of those kinds of people.
Similarly, athletic trainers fit that bill.
100%.
Yeah. And Kim Terrell today, you can read more on Goducks.com. I'll talk about it a bit more on the show. But Kim Terrell, who is retiring at the end of the academic year, man, we are going to miss Kim, or Miss Kim, as quite literally every single student athlete calls her.
Right.
A career dedicated to Oregon student athletes, and she was honored by the Big Ten as its distinguished athletic trainer. That's outstanding. Such a great honor for somebody that is often behind the scenes but has influenced so many student athletes.
Yeah, Kim's been behind the scenes for many, many years. And just a rock, right? Just provide an exceptional care to our student athletes, and always being there to provide the support that they needed in the moment. And sometimes it's just a word of encouragement.
Yeah.
So I've had, the good fortune to work closely with Kim for 15 years, but never closer than during COVID.
Yeah.
So, what Craig Davidson and Kim did leading our effort through COVID was quite remarkable. And Kim, Craig Davidson, Lisa Peterson, and I would be on a daily call for a long period of time because, remember, we weren't playing. And then when we came back, we were doing daily testing.
Right.
And, setting up the protocols, executing that, communicating that, handling it when there was a positive. She was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I don't think that'll surprise anybody who's worked in Oregon athletics. But as you said, the relationships that's built in supporting student athletes, when student athletes come back, they want to connect with trainers, equipment rooms, academic advisors, because they understand, particularly later in life, how much those people meant to their success.
Yeah. Kim's a great duck. There's no doubt about it. Undergraduate and graduate degrees from the University of Oregon, most recently serving as the Senior Associate Director of Athletic Medicine. Congratulations, Kim. That's an awesome, awesome honor at the conference level. And don't worry, I'm sure that there will still be lots of chances to celebrate and thank Miss Kim down the stretch.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We didn't quite let her retire. We keep making her come back.
But hey, that's the sign of a great person.
Oh,
though,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Maybe, Lorraine Davis, Herb Yamanaka.
See?
Yeah, we.
That's so true. You know what, though? Doesn't that say something, too, that they keep saying yes to come back?
They do, and we're going to keep asking.
Yep. They say yes to come back, says a lot about them, but also this place, as we've continued to talk about. All right, we covered a lot, Rob. I don't want to make you late for a meeting. Anything else fans should know?
No, again, big weekend. starts tonight at PK Park, but would love to fill it up again Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A lot in front of us. Stay tuned for all the postseason announcements because they will be quick turnarounds on ticket sales.
Yes.
And again, the best thing that we can do when we get a chance to host these championships is to fill them up so that the next opportunity people will remember, yeah, that was a great experience.
And then like I said, I got to think the committee's going to go, yeah, we'd love to go there because there's going to be a lot of people
Right,
there.
we've been there before and we know what it's like.
Yeah, that's great. We're all for that. Rob Mullens, Oregon Athletic Director, he'll be on the show again at least one more time before we finish up our academic year because I don't know about you, but I still function on the academic year. I cannot think in calendar year.
I'm with you.
He's Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate your time.
Go Ducks.
We're going to get a timeout, come back, a little bit more on that award for Kim Terrell. It's outstanding. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial.
Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, know it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you real.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack, and I wanted to zero in a little bit more on the honor coming in for Senior Associate Director of Athletic Medicine, Kim Terrell. So she's retiring at the end of this academic year, a career dedicated to Oregon student-athletes, and she was honored receiving the award today as Doug Boersma Distinguished Big Ten Athletic Trainer. So cool for Kim Terrell. Received her undergraduate and graduate degrees from the U of O before embarking on a career in athletic medicine. Again, she's going to retire, and it was awesome to see her get this award that's given annually to the most outstanding Big Ten athletic trainer, the Big Ten athletic trainer throughout the conference. And it's named for a former sports medicine professional at Purdue who passed away in 2023. Among the criteria for selection, providing or overseeing exceptional care to student athletes, collaborating with peers, and demonstrating leadership in the field. Terrell is that. Kim Terrell is everything about that. And the image for the graphic that those of you who are watching the show are seeing, got to throw out the first pitch at Oregon softball. Pretty cool, right? Ceremonial first pitch. 1981 graduate of this university with a bachelor's degree in exercise and movement science, went on to receive her master's in 1983, entered the professional ranks after graduating, then returned to the university as an assistant athletic trainer from 1988 to 1995, was at Northwestern, then came back to Oregon in 2003, and has been here ever since. Across 2 stints at the university, she's worked directly with football, women's basketball, cross country, track and field, beach volleyball, and acrobatics and tumbling. Has also received recognition and also has been a part of numerous national boards and committees. Just an awesome honor for someone that is behind the scenes and always makes such an amazing impact. Congratulations, Kim Terrell. Kedri Lushar, Big Ten Player of the Week. Conference announced it yesterday. First weekly honor for the senior, oddly, because she's one of 25 finalists for the National Player of the Year. How about that? Drove in 10 runs last week in 4 games against Notre Dame and Michigan State. She had 3 RBIs in all 3 games against the Spartans. Ducks locked up the 2025 Big Ten regular season title. Her RBI in the 6th inning on Sunday's game against the Spartans proved to be the difference maker in Oregon's 7-6 win. Congratulations to Kedri Lushar. I tell you, we're going to talk with Coach Lombardi coming up, but I think Kedri Lushar has got a heck of a chance to win some of these National Player of the Year awards. She's certainly, to me, an All-American. Kedri Lushar and the Ducks are in action. Coming up on Thursday, it will be a 1:30 start for Oregon softball against the winner of the first-round game tomorrow. Michigan and Wisconsin will play, and then the Ducks will play the winner at 1:30 on Thursday. Saul Galvan will have the hometown call on KWVA, the student radio station here at the University of Oregon, and the entire tournament will be televised on Big Ten Network. Checking in on Oregon women's golf. Team leaderboard. The Ducks are 5 under total, and they are finished on the golf course today. Went 6 under in round 2. Oregon women's golf is sitting in first place in the NCAA Gold Canyon Regional. The projected cut line is now 18 over par. The Ducks are 5 under. Yeah, it looks like Oregon's going to be advancing. Just have to take care of business in round 3 tomorrow. As an individual, Kiara Romero is 4 under. That's not right. Kiara Romero is 4 strokes clear of second place. She's 12 under overall in the tournament now after a refresh of the scoreboard. She's in the clubhouse, and a chance for an individual Gold Canyon Regional title, and it looks like Oregon women's golf will be advancing to the national championships coming up in a couple weeks. Awesome stuff. Quick timeout. When we return, talking Oregon softball. Head coach Melyssa Lombardi, her weekly appearance with us. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, your summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
With a great selection of new Toyotas, everyone knows your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer, even your pet parrot.
Right, your summer starts here.
Well said.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Event ends June 2nd.
Toyota, let's go places.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer.
That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
It's Doug Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you inside the Country Financial Studio. Yesterday, Ryan Milano sat down with Melyssa Lombardi because the Ducks are en route to the Big Ten tournament hosted by Purdue today. So we chatted yesterday. Ryan sat down with Melyssa Lombardi for our weekly interview, this time a Big Ten champion in Melyssa Lombardi breaking down Oregon softball.
The champ is here. Coach Lombardi into studio. Coach, congratulations. What a weekend.
Awesome weekend. Just a weekend full of celebration. I'm so excited for this team. They've worked really, really hard to see them clinch the Big Ten title, to see us get to celebrate our seniors, and just really celebrate our play that we've been doing all year. It was really, really cool.
That's got to be fun for the first time to call yourselves Big Ten champions. Just what is that feeling like for you to say, okay, I am now a Big Ten champion?
It feels good. Like, we've been joking. Like, I'll see Kai, and I'm like, hey, Big Ten champ, what's up? And she'll do the same thing. So it's just kind of fun.
What is it about this group? What brought this group together? When did you know that this group was capable of this?
We just knew from the start that this group was really special. They've always had really good energy. They've worked hard to just be deep with their relationships with each other from the beginning. And so what you're seeing now is just a byproduct of what they've been doing all year. And they're just a special group, and they're just all about the team first.
Special also, it's the first year in the Big Ten. To get it done in this conference, going through it, navigating through it the first time, does it make it a little sweeter that it's the first year in the conference that you were able to pull it off?
I think it does, because we had to navigate a lot of things. You know, we were going to face tough opponents throughout the conference, but then understanding that our travel was going to look a little different, and there were some different things that we needed to adjust along the way. Just thinking about some, walk-off wins we had, or weather delays where we ended up having to play late at night. There was just other things besides playing our opponent that we needed to be great with as well.
It was the first year through the conference, a lot of firsts for the teams, and you're always the first person to give credit to the players and your assistant coaches, but it is also the first time for you that you're a conference-winning head coach. Just for you personally, just your coaching journey, what does it mean for you as an individual head coach to take home a conference title?
It's special. It's hard to win conference titles. It's hard, especially regular season, and just to see just all the hard work that we have all put into it, and to be crowned at the end of the weekend, it was great. We've been talking about it all year long, and to manifest it, and then see it come to fruition, we are all thrilled.
Was this a big goal for you personally on your coaching checklist in terms of the goals you want to accomplish throughout your career?
We talked about it this year at the beginning of the year as a team, and it was our first on our list. We wanted to win a Big Ten. And then from there, had some other things as well, but this was right on top of our list. And we knew that if this is something we were going to do, we had to work really hard in leading up to that with the weight room and the way we practice and all of our leadership, meetings that we have. Like, there was going to be a lot we were going to have to do in order to accomplish it.
What I think was really cool about how this weekend went about is there were a few things. It was senior weekend, that's really special. You got all the alumni and the fans back, that's really special. But also, you got to really celebrate the conference title twice, because you win on Saturday, you secure a share of the conference title. Then before you play on Sunday, UCLA, they lose to Northwestern, which means that you share an outright conference title, which means that after both games you got to celebrate, and you were showered really in two separate ways. After game one on Saturday, the first win, there was a Gatorade bath, and after game two, there was an apple cider shower. And so I just want, which one was better for you? Which one felt sweeter? Was it the apple cider shower, or was it the Gatorade dunk?
Well, I think it was water, not Gatorade, thank goodness. I think I would go with the water. I think it was kind of a sticky situation the second day. But you know what? I will take both. If something is being dumped on me at the end of a game, that means things are really, really good. So I will take whatever I can get.
How many times have you been dumped in Gatorade, water, whatever it is? How many times have you had the cooler dumped on top of you throughout your career?
I don't even know, honestly. I couldn't even tell you. But I'm just thrilled for these guys. I'm just thrilled for them and what they did, and just to see them celebrate with each other, it was pretty special.
Is there anything better than getting to just take over the outfield and just have whatever liquid it may be just sprayed amongst everybody?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a great day. We had a great day, great celebration. I can't say enough. I just thought it was just a magical weekend.
Well, and what was really cool, too, is that it happened on senior day. And so for this entire senior class throughout the senior weekend, just what is this group going to mean for this program as a whole? As Oregon softball throughout the history of the program, what does this senior group mean specifically?
They're a special group. They're a group that they lead by example. They call you up to the standard. They have high expectations, and you never have to question their expectations because you watch them do what they expect every single day, and you want what they want. They lead, and they're very inclusive. Every single person on this team matters and has helped us get the W's all year. And I just think what they're doing, this freshman class, when they become seniors, you'll look at them and go, wow, they remind me of that senior group. Because the lasting impressions that our seniors are leaving upon them and our other, lower classmen have just been exactly what leaders are supposed to do.
It sets the foundation. That's cool. The seniors that were honored: Kai Lushar, Kedri Lushar, Paige Sinicki, Des Patman, Stacey Chambers, Abby Mulvey, the 6 players that were honored as seniors. And I thought it was really cool the way that the 4-year seniors really capped their career, especially the Lushar sisters and Paige Sinicki over the weekend. Kai Lushar reaches 100 stolen bases. Kedri Lushar hit over 500, drove in 9 runs. Paige Sinicki hit over 500 with 3 extra base hits and drove in 5 RBI. Just for them to have this weekend on their senior weekend, that's got to make it a lot more special for them and for you as a coach.
Definitely. They have left their mark on this program. And, this could be their last game on this field. We're hoping not. But if it is, they walked away the way they wanted to walk away from the Jane. I think there's more coming for us. I'm hoping there's more. Our fans were amazing all year long. Our fans have showed up, and they've been loud. They've really given us an opportunity to have an advantage every time we play at home.
Talk a little bit more about that atmosphere, because I think what makes senior weekend so special is the inclusive type of atmosphere that sort of comes with a senior weekend. You get all the alumni back. You get the parents out on the field doing the Go Ducks chant. Just the atmosphere has been great all season, but I thought this weekend specifically it was a different type of a high energy atmosphere, wasn't it?
It was. It was just such a special weekend. Just watching our seniors getting celebrated, watching their fathers pull out the Go Ducks and just start a chant. Like, we had no idea they were going to do that. And it was just really, really cool. You just get to really see all the years of work that these guys have put in and getting to celebrate in that final day on Sunday. I love that our fans stuck around for senior day and, got to just really honor them and what they've been doing.
This is a group that has set the standard, as you alluded to. And for this group, a few statistics of note: tied the program record in a regular season, matched the 2017 team for a 47-6 record throughout the regular season. Also on pace to set school records in runs per game, and RBI. Also a 303 plus 303 run differential, leads the NCAA in making the campaign for that not being the last game at Jane Sanders Stadium, which I don't think under any circumstances it should be. This group really is special. They're doing things that we haven't seen in program history here at Oregon, and it's an illustrious program history. This is a special group.
It is, and there's so much more to do. One thing that they've been really good about is when we've hit certain marks, we got to celebrate on Saturday, and before they left, everything that we celebrated, they left at the Jane. and they came back the next day, brand new day, ready to get started. We got to have a beautiful senior day yesterday, celebrate clinching the championship, solo, and same thing. They left everything there, and today we're on to our next business. I really like their maturity and how well that they handled their business.
When you look at where this team was coming into the year, from an outsider's perspective, you lost 6 or 7 offensive starters, you lost a few pitchers in the circle, and then I just listed off a bunch of offensive statistics that are going to be probably program records by the time this season is said and done. Just the ability of not only the players but also the coaching staff to get this team, a young team, a team that has new players stepping up into new roles, ready to lead in the way that you did. Just talk through the process now that the regular season is over throughout the course of the year, where you look at where the season started to where it is now. What did it exceed your expectations? Were these your expectations? What did you expect?
The thing that we wanted to do is not get caught up in outcome, but more get caught up in our process. And if we do the things that we need to do in our process, the outcome will take care of itself. And I think that is what has allowed this group to really shine and to come through when they need to come through, is not getting caught up in that we have to win or we have to, more of embracing that we get to. And can I get to the plate and have a hard hit ball? Can I be on the mound and command the zone? Can I be on defense and be great with what I do and make the plays that are demanded of me to make, and just really get caught up in what we're doing and let the rest of it take care of itself. That's probably the biggest thing that group has done all year, and I feel like that's what allows us to just stay consistent with what we've been doing.
That's pretty cool. And with some individual players stepping up in big ways, haven't had a chance to talk to you earlier before the series started. 2 of your players were nominated top 25 in terms of Player of the Year qualification on the watch list. Kedri Lushar offensively, Lindsey Grine in the circle. Just what those two specifically have brought to the table as people who can lead your club and be two of the best across the entire nation. It's cool to see that type of honor.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just the consistent work that they put in every day. There's not like this big magical thing that's happening for us. It's just the consistency of their work and putting that time in daily, and the expectations, the standards that are required to get there, and they're all bought in.
And it doesn't stop. You've talked a lot saying that, sure, regular season's over, but it's not the end for this team. There's still a lot to work for. Big Ten tournament coming up this week, Thursday at 1:30. Don't know who you're playing yet, the winner of the 8-9 game, but the Big Ten tournament, what's it going to take to win in the conference tournament? What are the keys to success across a tournament environment?
With that, it reminds me, you're getting into postseason, and I think it's just really getting caught up in each game. We talk a lot about, do we have the ability to start fast with the game, stay fast, and finish fast? And when we do that, I think you get to really see all 3 cylinders firing for us. So now that we're in postseason, it's not about changing our mentality. It's really keeping everything the same.
8-9 winner, either Michigan or Wisconsin, coming up 1:30 Pacific. All games will be on Big Ten Network. The game will be on Thursday for Oregon to start. And 2 teams that throughout this course of the year, new teams once again, just going through conference, getting into Big Ten play, just the excitement level to start postseason.
Yep, we're looking forward to it.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Congratulations, champion.
That's a good feeling, isn't it? I liked Ryan just started like, hey, the champ's here. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Around here, it's always compete for a championship. Ducks competed for, won the Big Ten championship. Now the Big Ten tournament championship. Then a regional championship. Then a super regional championship. Then a national championship. That's the mentality. I loved what Coach said just about you got to get caught up in each game. That's awesome. Timeout. When we come back, a record-setting performance for Oregon women's golf. The numbers are all in, and it's pretty staggering. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial.
Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
I want you to know. I said I want you to know right now. You've been good to me, baby.
Finishing up Duck Insider on a Tuesday. Our show is always presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Here in the Country Financial Studio, the numbers have been tabulated, and we know that it was a little bit of history for Kiara Romero today. 11 birdies en route to karting the lowest individual round in program history. A 10 under 62 for Kiara Romero, and that comes, again, the lowest individual round in program history. That comes in the NCAA regionals where, boy, does it sure matter. There are 3 Ducks inside the top 17 on the individual leaderboard. Big reason why Oregon is sitting 4 strokes clear of Oklahoma State through 2 rounds. The Ducks will head into round 3 in first place in their regional, Gold Canyon regional. Advance as one of the top 5. You're in the national championships. Then, stroke play in the national championship round. Cut line goes to 15. Another round of stroke play. Cut line goes to 8. Match play 1 through 8. Bracket. National champion. The Ducks have been in the national championship match 2 of the last 3 years, trending toward and working toward another one coming up this year. Congratulations, Kiara Romero, Derek Radley, the rest of the Oregon women's golf team. The Ducks putting together one heck of a regional so far. Tonight, Oregon baseball at PK Park. The Ducks are facing St. Mary's. 6 o'clock first pitch. We'll have a 5:45 pregame show for you across the Oregon Sports Network. A 2-game midweek set that begins tonight at PK. See you there.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb. Yeah, no problem. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light.